My name is Brittany, and I'm a coach trainer with Coach Training EDU. In this demo, you'll see Lindsay coaching me. In your first overview, you will be assessed on setting a clear agenda as well as displaying the essential coach quality of empathetic. The empathetic coach quality shows up in asking insightful questions and increasing awareness to subtle shifts in energy. As you watch this demo, listen for each component of the time model, the topic, the importance, the measurability, and the echo, as well as moments of empathy. After the demo, you will be asked to assess the coach using the Overview Number 1 rubric. The purpose is to help you become more familiar with these training skills as well as increase your level of comfort with the overview process. Enjoy!
All right. So you're excited for the week coming up?
Oh my God, yes.
Good. What would be most helpful if we had to set an agenda, like knowing, even forgetting inner critic, what would be most helpful for us to talk about today?
How to not quit my job after this trip.
All right.
I don't feel that way right now, but it's a common thing when I come back from trips. Like, I just don't want to be doing this anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And so why is that important in the bigger picture to figure out right now?
Because even though I'm stressed about how the turnaround on the timing of the trips, I think it was really, really great that I was just in North Carolina within days of going on this trip, because I got the taste in North Carolina of like, it wasn't a vacation. I did everything that in North Carolina that I would have done if I was in Chicago. I just was in a different location. And so I got a really good taste of like what it would be like to work, like have location independence. And so it really reminded me why I'm really focused on this. And then this trip coming up is totally different than that, where it truly is a vacation and I'm not going to be working on anything. And so, I feel like North Carolina was a good reminder to stay put and stay focused on the goals. But I'm anticipating that this trip is going to be more like, yeah, you just want to travel all the time. So just let that other stuff, it'll get paid off eventually, you know?
All right. Yeah. And so what would you like to walk away with if we talk about that?
I would love to be able to not have those thoughts at all, like be proactive about it. I'd like to have them not come up at all.
Okay.
Would be nice, because it's a battle and it sucks.
Yes. All right. So we'll talk about the potential self-talk that's going to come up after your trip and hopefully come up with a way to be proactive about that. Would that be a good use of our time?
Yeah.
All right. What kind of messages go through your head when things aren't going well?
In general, or specifically as it relates to questioning this job?
What would be most useful for you to focus on?
Probably the job, because it comes up pretty frequently.
Okay. So yeah, what kind of things do you say to yourself about the
job? You're very financially savvy, so the mortgage is going to get paid off whether you have this job or not. Not maybe as quickly, but you're going to be on top of it. So the job is not really that important. That this sounds so bad. I really hate working for other people.
What kind of judgment are you making about that statement?
I feel like it makes me feel like I'm above other people, or I'm too good for what's considered a quote unquote traditional job in an office with set hours, which is more the norm, I think. I think in the last week or so, the breakout session in our 2.0 on Thursday, I walked away with this thing that keeps coming up in my mind this week in particular is like, would I even be having these thoughts at all if I was a man.
Mhm.
And what's the implications of being female in this position and starting a business as a female, and doubting, you know, all the things that are tied up in that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So what is the core message that you keep coming back to in regards to the trip and working?
Well, I guess it comes down to two, and it's the flip-flopping that keeps happening of, you're going to accomplish your goals regardless of whether you crank it out in 3 years or it takes 5 or 6 or 10. So enjoy the journey. But then there's the other part of me that, I really don't know if I've shared this with our class yet, but I had a brain tumor 2 years ago, and it totally shifted my perspective on life. And I just don't want to be delaying things forever. I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do it now. And this is the biggest hurdle to being able to do it now. And so that's the other, oh my God, I'm sorry.
No, take a second. Yeah.
That's the other side of this, of like the urgency to it, because I may not be here in 3 years. So.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Brittany. And I can't imagine how that has shifted your perspective. So do you want to take a minute, take a breath?
No, I'm okay. I really just, the door to our pod is clear and everybody can see me. So I'm just like,
yeah.
So, yeah.
They're like, what do they do to her in there?
No.
All right. So there's a few messages that are coming up. It's that, I think one of them is, what do you think about somebody who flip-flops?
Well, it's interesting because my thoughts about someone who flip-flops are different than, well, I would say my personal thoughts are, who cares? Do what you know is best for you. But that's so buried down underneath the idea of, you know, everything that I've been taught growing up from family and from school about like gaps in your resume, or like jumping from job to job, or, you know, just what's expected of someone in, I will say, at least in the US, of, you know, go to school, get a job, have a career, then you retire, and in retirement you get to do all the fun stuff. I just don't subscribe to that.
So there's part of you that says, who cares? I don't subscribe to that. But how would you characterize, what's the other side of it?
Well, the part that's who cares is really, really small. So the other side of it is much more loud, and that's what ends up making me flip-flop. How would I characterize it?
Or what's that message, if you had to summarize it in one sentence?
Life would be much easier if you would just do what's expected.
And so what is it telling you not to do?
I was just going to say the flip side of that, what I really think. But to not start a coaching business, and to not dream of visiting every country in the world, and to not do all the things that makes me cry, to think about not doing them.
All right. So this message is for you to just like, Brittany, just do what's expected and don't dream.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely don't take action on the dream.
And don't take action. Yeah. What's the difference between dreaming and taking action on the dream?
Well, dreaming is just kind of an idea. You know, I think everyone has a dream, and whether or not they acknowledge it, but they wish for something, or, it'd be great if I could fill in the blank, all kinds of stuff. But, I think it's not common for people to start doing the things that it takes to make that dream a reality. And especially women, even less.
Mm. So it's also, the message sounds like, do what's expected, don't dream, don't take action on the dream, and don't be uncommon.
Yeah, don't be unique. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add to the message that you think your inner critic is telling you?
No, I feel like that's pretty much sums it up.
Okay. And
just get in line. I guess that's the
yeah.
biggest summation of it. Just get in line.
Just get in line.